I am Kenya Cherie Ulmer, as Don said, and I help women eliminate the drama and the distractions to get them on the road to their destiny. So I'm a certified life coach, speaker, forthcoming author, and teacher, and it is my joy to be able to bring you this session today. So why don't we start off with a little something fun? Can you drop in the chat how you're feeling today, your favorite, the emoji that will tell us how you are feeling right now? This should be really, really fun. Yvette is smiling. I love it. And I'm full of love this morning. I'm going to put a heart. Oh, Karen's a little tired. Well, hopefully we can wake you up. Hey, Purvis feeling strong. Hey, Natalie. I love that. What's that? Ready to learn. That's what I'm calling that emoji. Ready to learn. And Pepper's happy. Yvette's happy. Anne Marie, butterfly. Ready to learn. Need this. Hey, I'm so glad you said that, Natalie. We all need it. I need it myself. So I'd like to talk to you about crush the comparison monster to make the impact you were born to make. How many of you are ready? Awesome. Awesome. All right. Let me share my screen so we can crush this comparison monster. Let's put that in the chat. Crush. It's time to crush the comparison monster. All righty. Are we good with slides? All right. Awesome. So imagine this, ladies. You have crushed it. You did awesome on that project. You did great on that presentation. You even crushed the stage. There were so many people, so many responses coming at you saying what a great job you did. You were firing on all four cylinders and you were feeling good. And then it happened. You went to social media. And what did you see? Her. Yes, her. We're going to call her Braggy Betty. You saw Baggy Betty's post on vacation. You saw her on that stage with her 20,000 likes and her 115,000 comments. You saw her with that perfect husband, those perfect kids, that big rock on her finger. And you're like, can she do no wrong? But guess what? We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? We're going to come back to that. So what do we start to do when we see posts on social media? It just threw everything out of the window that I just achieved. It makes you feel like you're this big, like you did nothing at all, like nothing you just did mattered, like you never made an impact, but you did make an impact. But when you looked at Betty's posts, it made you feel insignificant. It even made you feel a little jealous, a little envious. I'll tell you a little about my story. I remember when I first started my business, it was 2010, and I was selling t-shirts. And there was another person who was selling tees as well. And so I saw how they started to really rise up to become a speaker. And then the next thing, and then the next milestone, and then the next milestone. It got to the point where I was feeling insignificant. Everything that I did didn't seem to matter. I would be on their social media page and just looking at all of the great things that was happening in their life because they would post about it seems like every hour. And I want to say it was almost, I don't want to say obsession, but I was I was a pretty regular person on that page. And with each post, it just seemed like, wow, well, what am I doing? It made me feel like what I was doing was not important. I was comparing myself to them, not realizing the gifts that I have on the inside of me, not to mention the path that I am supposed to take. So that person has their path, and I have my path. And you, my friends, you have your path as well. So we're going to crush that monster today, okay? Who's ready to crush the comparison monster? All right. So let's look at the definition of comparison. I like to get deep with it, all right? So comparison is an examination of two or more items to establish similarities and dissimilarities. That is what we do. That is what I was doing with that other person. And so when we look at the definition from a counseling perspective, this one just it blows me away. A compulsion to constantly compare ourselves with others, producing unwanted thoughts and feelings that drive us to depression, consumption, anxiety, and all around a joyous discontent. How many of you have done this? Let's be honest. I've done it. Yeah, I'm seeing hands. Thank you for your honesty. We have done it. So the title is Crushing the Comparison Monster. So I wanted to look up the definition of a monster because comparison really can be a monster. An animal of strange or terrifying shape, one who deviates from normal or acceptable behavior or character. So when I was going to this person's page all the time, I was deviating from normal or acceptable behavior. How many of us have done this? Definitely, definitely. And can we say that a monster is also a fictitious person, a fictitious animal? It is not real. It can be terrifying, but the monster is not real. So I'm going to share with you 3 points how we can crush that comparison monster so that we can make the impact that we were born to make. So number 1, don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies. You are enough. You are enough, Ashley. You are enough, Anne Marie. You are enough, Alexis. You are enough. So we have these thoughts that come into our minds. I like to call them stinky thoughts, right? And we're all guilty of them. It's these are thoughts that we say to ourselves that we would never allow someone else to say to ourselves. So stuff like, I'll never get that job. Nobody cares about me. I'm ugly. I'm worthless. I'll always struggle and never have any money. You're not smart enough. We say these lies in our heads. I remember I had an event in the pandemic. It was probably about 2020. There was a voice that said, "Don't do it. Nobody's going to show up." That was a lie. Can I tell you that I had about it was somewhere between 75 and 100 signups, and like 40 or 50 people came? If I had believed that voice, that lie, I would have shut it down. I would have canceled the event. So I want to encourage you today to not believe the lies. This is what we have to do. We have to put those stinky thoughts in jail, lock them up, throw away the key. Are you guys hearing me? Who's ready to throw away the key and lock those lies away? That's right. I see you, Don. I am ready to do it as well. Don't be ashamed. It happens to us all. You know what came to my mind when I was about 10, my aunt introduced me, probably a little bit before then, the fun aunt introduced me to wrestling. It was called WWF back then. Hulk Hogan, he was my favorite. And you know how he would get really mad, right? If I have any WW, what is it now? It's WWE now, I guess. He would get really mad and really pumped up, and he would take that person and he would put them in like a chokehold, right? That is what we have to go WWE on those lies. We have to put those lies in a chokehold and like wrestle them to the ground. That is how serious it is, because we were born, we are great. We have greatness on the inside of us. I hope that you know that this morning. If you don't know it, you're going to know it by the end of this session, that you have greatness on the inside of you. And when we compare, that is an insult to our maker. It's like saying what I have is worth nothing. And we know that that is just a lie. Who's with me? Who's with me? All right, all right. I see some hands. Awesome, awesome. So this is us just scrolling on social media. I used to work with a person that had to get off of social media because she had comparison issues. So sometimes we're going to need to just take a break. We're going to need to turn it off, and that is completely okay. So I want to let you know that today. So how do I know so much about this? All right. So another story. So I'm this is all in my business, all in my business now, but I love you guys. I'm just gonna put it all out there for you. And I'm known for being very transparent. I hope you love it. So here I was on ABC 7 back in 2019. What do you guys think I was feeling at this point? Drop it in the chat. How do you, on top of the world, right? What do you think I was feeling at this moment? Right, on top of the world. TV debut, right? I just jumped from my job of 20 and a half years. But guess what? When I went home, I didn't have any AC. And this was in July. And you want to know why? I'm just going to throw it on out there. I couldn't afford to get my AC fixed summer. But you wouldn't know that with me sitting on that couch posing with that anchor. Eileen, she was the sweetest, is the sweetest person. So this is now, how many of you would like to be sitting in the one, I believe, one of the hottest summers of 2019 with no AC? Can I see any hands? Would anybody want to do that? Not at all. So this is one of the reasons why we can't compare. We don't know what's going on in that person's life behind the scenes. We don't know. And that's me with my fan right there. That was me when I got home. I was happy, but I was hot. All right, so putting it out there again. I just love doing this. This is just who I am. All right, so here I am again. I believe this was 2021. It was Single Parent Day, and I was on Good Morning Washington, ABC 7. And so again, what do you think I'm feeling? On top of the world. What else? I can't see. Let me see if I can see the chat to see what you guys are saying. But this was me on TV again. And what do you think was going wrong during this time? Well, we were in the middle of a pandemic. Everyone was scared. We were in our homes. I wasn't in the studio. I was doing this from my living room. But guess what, guys? This is what was going on in my living room. I still have my Christmas tree up. I actually can't believe I'm telling all my business like this. It was March 18th. Christmas tree. You'll see all the cards on the table. And if you look closely, you'll see that my hair is messy in the back. Why? I hadn't had a perm because we were scared to go to the hairdresser. My roots were so thick, guys. So this is real. This is very real. But did you know that? Did you know that? Looking at this picture, right? So we never know what's going on behind the scenes. And that's pretty bad. I actually was kind of thinking, should I show that? But yeah, I love you guys. Do it. Anything to crush that comparison monster. Merry Christmas. All right. And so this one, my latest Fox 5 single parent day again. Now, what's going on now is still a little tender. So the story is loading, but stay tuned. I will have a story, a testimony for this right now. Still going through it, but I'll get back to you on that. So that is just a little transparency moment for you guys. Okay, I can see the chat. Let me see what people are saying. Why was she in my thoughts? I love it. This is hilarious. Great. I'm glad. Thank you, Ashley, for appreciating my vulnerability. Front page appearance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are having a ball, I see. I'm so happy. All right. So I hope that we are crushing that comparison monster, because why? We never know what is going on behind the scenes. We never know the truth, because to be honest with you, some people are lying on social media. So what we're doing is we're comparing ourselves to these lies, to these standards that may or may not be true. All right. I'm just saying, I put my stuff out there. All right. So I wanted to go over some of these feelings that we have when we're looking at someone who is having a great day, having a great moment, posting on their highlight reel. We've heard that term before, right? We're comparing ourselves to people's highlight reels. So we can feel something that's jealousy, envy. And I wanted to show the difference between the two. So jealousy is you're hostile towards a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage. And envy is painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another, joined with a desire to possess the same advantage. So jealousy involves three people. Okay, so let's break it down a little more. Envy occurs when we lack a desired attribute enjoyed by another. But jealousy occurs when something we already possess, usually a special relationship, it is threatened by a third person. So while envy is a two-person situation, jealousy is a three-person situation, because there's a third person that comes in and you feel threatened. You may feel threatened. So envy is when we want what the other person has. So in crushing that comparison monster, how many of you wanted to be hot all summer long? How many of you wanted to be without AC all summer long? Because here's the thing. When we envy a person, when we want what they have, we have to go through everything that person went through. So when I was younger, I wanted to be Oprah. I wanted to be Oprah. Who didn't, right? I wanted to be Oprah. So, but then I read about her story and learned more about her story. And there were some things that I did not want to go through that Oprah went through. And you'll find this with everybody's story, because we all have a story And we're all meant to go on the path that we're on. And so if you want what someone else has, you have to go through what it is that they went through. And you may not have survived. Have you thought of it that way? You may not have survived what it is that they went through. So at the end of the day, you'll be like, I'll take my hot summer, right? I'll take my hot summer. I'll take my Christmas tree still being up and my roots being this thick, needing a touch up, needing a perm during the pandemic. I'll take it compared to what someone else is going through. All right, moving right along. So number 1, don't believe the lies, right? Number 2 is going to be stay in your own lane. So we all have a purpose, and our purpose is leading us to our destiny. So when I was going on that person's Facebook page, looking at their posts, I was not in my own lane. I was all in their lane. And when we take our eyes off of our lane, what do we get in? We get into a collision because we're supposed to be focusing on what it is that we're supposed to be doing. All right, you guys with me? Let me bring up the chat. All right, awesome. Great, you guys are with me. Thank you so much. You all are so encouraging. Speakers need it too. All right, so stay in your own lane. All right, this is a pretty popular one. I remember I did a blog post a few years ago, and I said, be yourself. I didn't make this up, but I thought it was brilliant. Everyone else is taken. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Harper, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Christina, everyone else is taken. So be yourself. Yvette, be yourself. How many of you have heard this by Theodore Roosevelt? Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy. The story that I mentioned earlier, you crushed that presentation. You're having a great day. It doesn't mean that you're on the big stage. You could just be having a great day with a great cup of coffee, or a perfect day with the kids or something like that. And then we just throw it all out the window when we start to compare in this negative way. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I don't know about you, but I need joy. I have to have joy. How many of you want to have joy? How many of you are feeling joy right now? All right, awesome. Very good, very good. All right, so I want you guys to look in this mirror, and I want you to repeat after me. And I want you to really focus, and really mean what it is that you're about to say. I am enough. And you can come off of mute for this, because I want to hear you guys say this. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am brilliant.
I am brilliant.
I have everything I need.
I have everything I need
to do what I've been called
to do what I've been called
on this earth.
On this earth.
It's already inside of me.
It's already inside of me.
All right, great job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. I love that. I loved hearing your voices as well. I really felt something. Honestly, thought I was gonna. I started to get emotional. I don't know if you guys felt it, but I definitely did. All right. So number one was, what was number one? Who can drop number one in the chat for me? Don't believe the lies. All right. That's right. Thanks, Yolanda and Marie. And what was number two? Yeah, Yvette. Go, Yvette. Stay in your own lane. Perfect, perfect. And number three, we are going to be unlocking our purpose, because once we don't believe the lies, right? And we're gonna, right, we're putting them in the headlock, right? And then we're staying in our own lane, not looking at anyone else, running our own race. We're unlocking our purpose. So how do we unlock our purpose? So, gorgeous ladies, nobody can do what you do when you do it. And that all comes from purpose, knowing what it is that you are called here to do. And like we said already, you said it when you looked at the mirror, it's already inside of you. So we just have to do the work, and we just have to unlock it. So I pulled questions straight from my coaching program, A Purpose Revealed, because I love you guys and I want you to unlock your purpose. So here are some of the questions that I want you to answer, to really think about and really take in. And you can take your time with these too. So these are some of the questions that can help you unlock your purpose. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? What roles attracted you? I already told you when I was younger, I wanted to be Oprah. And look at me, I'm speaking, I speak across the country. And so that is a clue. You just didn't put that there. That was put there by the maker. So what did you want to be when you grew up? What kinds of roles or responsibilities do you enjoy and feel good at? What sucks you dry? We all know those, right? That's not it. Whatever sucks you dry, that's not it. Whatever your purpose is, you will just be you will never run out of gas. You will be up 4 a.m. in the morning still trying to get it done because you love it so much. What experiences have you had that gave you an unusual sense of purpose? Next questions. What have you done that has been the most successful or beneficial to others? For me, it was when I was working a 9 to 5. I'm full time in my business now. I worked in television news, crazy career, but it was wonderful. When it was time to go, it was time to go. But what I realized is that people would come to me and always need a listening ear from me. They were always in my office asking for advice and asking me to listen, and asking for wisdom, and asking for prayer, believe it or not, right? So they knew who to come to. And so I was that person. And I didn't know I had a business. I didn't know I had a business in those early days. So what makes you feel fully alive when you're doing it? Fully alive. I feel fully alive when I'm speaking. I feel fully alive. I feel like I'm in the sweet spot of life when I'm speaking and when I'm coaching. So another clue is, what makes you mad? What are the issues and injustices, principles, or causes that get you riled up? I remember for me, it was seeing the way single moms in particular, were portrayed on TV. And also, this is just, I'm big on relationships. I couldn't stand it when women chased after men. That's just something just that was planted in me. That's just what made me mad. Hence why I call myself single mama with no drama. All right. So this is what I share with my clients as well. What would you do for free? Gorgeous ladies, this is usually it. This is it right here. So Tony Stolfus, he's a master coach and an author. He said, there's no such thing as a wasted life. Every experience, ladies, good or bad, can be leveraged into a person's sense of destiny. So what is the key? The key to finding meaning in pain or difficulty is understanding that every experience is a qualification. Every experience. So with my business, single mama with no drama.com, that came from me not getting married to my college sweetheart, the one who I have a daughter with. So if I didn't get married, and remember, every experience, good or bad, I wouldn't be single mama with no drama. And chances, what are the chances of me being with you today, right now? And it's not necessarily a bad thing that I didn't get married, but that is a good thing as well, because I'm perfectly content in my singlehood. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for the single ladies. We have to be perfectly content where we are. Single ladies, where are you? Give me a wave. All right, all right. So the last group of questions, at their point of need, people are most open to being influenced by someone who's gone through what they have. Given that, who has your life prepared you to serve? So, for example, if you are if you've been incarcerated and you're like in a placement program for, you want to start a placement program for prison inmates, and you yourself, you lived a life where were incarcerated or had a family member that was incarcerated, as opposed to someone who hasn't, who would you like to hear from if you were incarcerated? Most likely the person that has gone through what you've been through. So it would be that person who was in jail before, who had been incarcerated, or the family member who knows what that's like, because they'll have compassion and mercy. So that's just an example to help you out. And what opportunities might your mistakes open to you that wouldn't have come had you succeeded? Because we're learning from our failures. So what gifts have your failures given you? All right. I hope those questions were helpful for you. Let me go in the chat and see. Oh, you're so welcome, Ashley. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. All right. Thank you for the feedback. All right. So it is time for you to share your story. So we're not going to believe the lies, correct? We're not going to be ashamed to tell our story, because someone needs what you have to offer and they're waiting for you to show up, right? And so we're going to stay in on our own lane, and we are going to unlock our purpose. So personal stories have impact. So your story is the most powerful story you will ever tell, because it is your story. Only you have lived it, and only you can tell it. So regardless of your past, someone needs to hear how your life has been transformed. So I want to help you unlock your purpose. So as I mentioned earlier, I have clients, and we're going through this program right now. And it's called a purpose reveal. It is, if I could say it this way, my most favorite work to do is to help women to see the light bulbs go off, to help women figure out why they are here, to unlock their God-given purpose. So there are 10 spaces in this program. And we're going to start at Monday, May 6th. And if you are interested or you want to know information, you can just email me, and that at info@singlemamawithnodrama.com. And that info will be in the chat and in the resources tab as well. So a few activities for you to take home. Who do you know in your gut that you are called to serve? And you may have been afraid to say it before today. And here's one more. I just love homework. What actions will put you closer to serving those you have been called to serve? And so I'm a coach. I'm all about goals. So I want you to break it up into 3 steps. All right. All right. And I can be found online, Facebook, Single Mama with No Drama, Instagram, Single Mama with No Drama, on X, Single Mama Load. And here's my email and website information as well. Thank you, ladies. It has been my honor to serve you today.